Well, hello, everybody. It is Wednesday afternoon. It is the D&A show. Dennis and Andy here. Finally, we have matched shirts. It has been so long since we've both worn the same shirt, the D&A shirt on a Wednesday. I feel like two girls that are really best friends whose cycles match up. My God, we're finally matched up.
We don't have a core draft we have to pimp. We've been fulfilling. So it's time for a good old DNA. Guys, we're going to keep this a really nice and tight stream today because we have been busy downstairs boxing.
That's right. We've been putting books out. We're at the official count. The official count is 722 packages have gone out. We have less than 100 to go. It's the slowdown period because now all the single books are out. All the single books where somebody's like, I want this book too. Now we're down to the collector boxes and the figures. And it is just, it's fun putting these boxes. In fact, I told Dennis yesterday, I said, dude, it's got to be cool to get this in the mail.
It's like Christmas. I mean, the thing is, we were waiting. We got the first boxes, the ones that did it early. We've got those boxes and stuff out, but we were waiting. Some of the boxes, depending on what everybody ordered, wouldn't fit in any of the boxes that we had because you can only estimate the sizes once we got. And some of you guys ordered multiple of the collector's boxes. So we had to go find especially large boxes which shipped, and we got one set yesterday, and we literally just before we walked up here got another one. We're still waiting for one, but we've been boxing and stuff, and I've been making piles. Yes, I've been putting the collector's boxes together.
That's right. At the dentist, but I think I got a package from you guys right before I left the house, so I haven't opened it yet. Well, that's awesome. So it's going real well. There you go. There's a photo of a bunch of the collector boxes that are filled.
Those are all full. These are not empty boxes. It is filled with all the stuff from the this is the Awakening boxes. So there you go, guys. You can just take a peek at what that looks like. There's our stations with everybody as we've been busy trying to get everything done, and out the door. We got as soon as the stream's done, we've got to run to the post office and drop off another
load. We're going to drop a load at the post office.
Yeah, they love it when we show up like that. They know we're coming every day too. Or they're like, oh, here, we'll just bring you a giant cart or wheel out a rack or whatever.
They're like, there's the two guys with their big loads they're going to dump on us. And I'm like, yep, we sure are. And we got some boxes for you too. I'm loopy because I'm kind of tired from standing all day.
Check, we got a bunch of people in the chat already. Leg kick was like instantly.
Randy Howell, Marcus Keller Grew, leg kick. The day later, lots of people, end of points. Hello,
Chris Thacker. Look, Chris is with us, guys. The awesome painter of our minifig.
That's right, bunch of minifigs going out, lots of stuff. And this past weekend was South Carolina Comic-Con, and I know what you're thinking. We know, you told us. Where was the comic book haul on Monday? Was it because you were doing fulfillment? No, it was because that convention was so freaking busy. And that is an awesome thing. This couple first for this show. First time I did not get a chance to literally start at one end of the show and then go up and down the aisles till I made it to the other end. I haven't not been able to do that at a show in I don't know how many years because I was so busy doing sketches. We sold a bunch of core draft merch and stuff. On Sunday, I did get up and was able to look around, and I actually did pick up 3 books from the show. Dennis picked up nothing.
This is a first. This is a con first that I didn't come home with comic books, Booker records, and or magazines I was missing. First time this has ever been any convention that I've been to.
Chris says, I haven't got my shipping notice yet. It should be coming down the pike soon.
That means you got a box.
That's right.
And for those of you that are joining, that keep popping in, we are down to the boxes. We've got 2 different size shipping boxes that just arrived, and we've got them all set and loaded and ready to go. So, guys, we have been printing them out. So coming quick for those of you that haven't.
Chris said, surprised you guys haven't asked me to paint your new figure. That's because we're actually picking up the prototypes over the weekend. Cross fingers.
We will be at Hickory Comic-Con on Saturday. So, yes, we're hoping that they show up, and we do. Oh,
that's exactly it. If you got a figure and a box, those are ones we're just starting to do. So anyhow, I picked up this issue of Black Panther because it's Captain America fighting Black Panther. It says Velluto. Sal Velluto was a regular artist, drew the cover. However, a treat, Norm Brayfogle drew the interiors. Yes, after 30-some years, that's how old this book is. I finally picked up number 4. I bought 1, 2, and 3 when they came out because I love Kevin Maguire. This issue was only half Kevin Maguire and half somebody else. But I finally thought, you know what, might as well complete the set 30-some years later. So I got it. And one I've been looking for, and got it from Borderlands, the Rob Young, the host of the show, Detective Comics 416, great Neil Adams cover. Alex Toth backup job, and the main job is drawn, I believe, written by Frank Robbins. Yes, quirky Frank Robbins. I dig his work, and getting a book where he drew Batman is cool. And I also came home to Battle Brick Road. Yeah, that's right. I got my Battle Brick Roads 1 and 2. Hopefully, I'm going to be reading these over the weekend. Thank you, Eric Weathers. So there you go.
I'm not at home. I got in the mail Perfect 10. So the new Perfect 10 came out. I saw a little package from Critical Blast. So all excited. Obviously, have not had a chance to read anything with all of this, but hey, it is what it is.
That's right. I'm really, I'm glad he's not watching the show. You just said a little package from Critical Blast. So you're saying he has a little package. Nice.
Wow.
Real nice, Dennis. Real nice. Guy has never done anything to you.
He knows what I mean.
My God.
It was great. I actually can't wait to read it.
I hear you. I should be getting that any day now as well. So a couple other things, kind of newsy. Well, actually, wait, we got to finish talking about South Carolina.
Yeah.
I know Dennis has more pictures to share.
Guys, it was fun. So this was, both of our wives came. Andy's daughter came down. So it was a treat that, both families got to go down. And of course, Shane Davis was there, and
Billy Tucci,
Dan Fraga. It was great sitting around talking with everybody. Bud Root, of course, was there. Guys, we had so much fun. They were all set up at the AC Motel, and that's great. Great walking distance. They actually took a walk down to the waterfall and stuff. Greenville's just beautiful down there and stuff. So that was awesome.
I talked Dennis out of taking a barrel over the waterfall. I was like, they frown on that, and you might not be able to get out of the barrel once you get into it. So let's not go that route.
That is true. And a number of you guys that are always in the chat and stuff, I see Marcus is in there. The number of you guys came and hung out for the entire weekend, got hotels. It was fun. It really was. But we're not kidding. Saturday, normally, we take turns at the booth so we can go do a little shopping. Other than to go to the restroom, never even left the booth. That's how busy it was, which is a great thing. When I tell you they had to have set attendance records because this is a pretty good sized convention, and it was literally wall to wall people on both days. That was the amazing thing. So SC Comic Con. You guys, for those of you that are kind of in the neighborhood and you're wondering if you should go, you definitely should try and make the trip next year for it.
That's right. It is a fantastic con. My wife and I were able to go up and meet guest Vicki Lawrence. Yes, that Vicki Lawrence that played Mama on the Carol Burnett show.
Mama. And
had the spinoff show. She was so sweet, so nice to talk to. Just very cool to talk to her. We got a signed photograph for my wife's mom because as us, we love Carol Burnett. We watched it as kids, but her mom watched it, as a young adult when it first came out, whereas we watched reruns and stuff. So that was nice. And yes, we got to meet the one and only Priscilla Presley. That's right. The great Michael Jackson's wife.
That's what you're going with.
She married some white dude too that died on the shitter. What was his name? Elvis. That's right.
He was
Elvis
a king.
Presley.
He was a king.
That's right. She married the king of rock and the king of pop. Think about that three-way if Elvis was still around.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You went there.
I shook her hand, and all I could think about was, at some point in her life, this hand was doing this to the king's jewels.
So for those of you guys who don't want to hear that type of talk, we can ignore Andy now.
Oh, like the king didn't like jewelry.
Oh, yeah. She was absolutely wonderful. So we wound up the first night we were in the bar and her table was kind of next to us. And, Billy was great. He's funny all the time and stuff. But he stood up and he goes, I have a Tucci announcement.
He's a hoot.
He goes, Priscilla Presley checked me out for 10 seconds. And that's what started the whole weekend right then and there. So I, of course, stood up and walked out and then came back and I'm like, yep, that is her. And then I stood there by her table as she looked at me and I counted to 12. And then I came back and I said, she checked me out for 12 seconds.
Oh, wait, that's right. Michael married the daughter. What's the daughter's name again? God, why am I blanking on that? All right, guys in the chat, what the hell's the daughter's name?
Yeah, Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. He didn't marry Priscilla. Nah, kept it in the family regardless.
Lisa Marie Presley.
Lisa Marie. Okay, so we were wrong there.
And she passed.
She did. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think she did.
Oh, anyhow. So go ahead with the Priscilla story.
So that was a very fun. She was in there. So that became a Billy versus Dennis thing all weekend, and Billy's like, I think it was 10.1 seconds. And we kind of went back and forth. So fast forward to the next night. After we had gone to eat and stuff, we were all sitting out in the lounge and we had one of the long table, Bud and Dan and the wives, and we're all sitting around talking. Billy wasn't there though. He was still eating and he was on his way. And we happened to notice Priscilla was sitting with her group against the window by the restaurant up there.
Checking me out.
Yeah.
For 15 seconds.
So as the night, we're like, oh my God, Priscilla's there. We're trying to get Bud down. So Bud Root comes down and joins us. And we're sitting there having a good time. All of a sudden you can see they're closing out their tab and walking out. Like, do you say something or don't you? You always wonder, and then some people tend to goad you into trying to say something. Well, I looked at my wife and I was like, okay, I might say something.
He fixed his hair like that, too.
I did. I literally looked at her and she knew I was going to say something.
We went
in there
and slicked it back with his spit.
So she comes walking up and we're in a spinning chair and I spun and had kind of looked at her. And she walked up and she looked and I said, well, hi, Priscilla. And she goes, hello. She walks over she walks right in between. I'm on the left and Helen, Andy's wife's on the right. She walks right up in the middle. She puts her hand on Helen's shoulder and then on my shoulder and then neck and is sitting there rubbing my shoulder and talking as she's talking. And I'm like, oh my God. why are you here? This is just not this is not sci-fi, not a voice actor. What brings you here? She goes, this is only the second time I've ever done a show like this. It's been so wonderful. And she's just telling a great story. She's loving it, having a great time. So she's there for a few minutes talking. And then they're literally sitting there doing this.
So she was doing that. And my wife was just bursting with like giddiness. She was holding it in, because you don't want to look like a weirdo, but she was just like, so then after Priscilla's done doing that, she goes around to the table and shakes hands. So somebody was Dan's brother was sitting next to me, and then there was Bud. So she leaned over, we shook hands and stuff. And I mean, I'm the same way. She walked away, and I think every one of us at the table was like, I was like, holy shit, I just shook Priscilla Presley's hand. She was married to freaking Elvis Presley. I just shook Priscilla Presley's hand. And my wife was like, I talked to Priscilla Presley. I'm going to text my mom.
She did.
She texted her mom. I mean, it was so freaking cool. What do we got here? We've got, hey, gents, I got my box on Monday. I tried to do an unboxing video, but my wife walked in near the end and started a whole conversation with me, so I haven't posted it. Women, you got to put that sign on the door. I'm unboxing something, and no, it's not dirty. Don't come in. So I mean, she was just very nice. And for being 80 years old.
Yeah.
And she's had work done and stuff. Billy was mentioning about a documentary she was on. And it was, when she had the work done, it was still kind of experimental stuff, I guess. And it kind of did mess her up. But still, for 80, really nice person to talk to and stuff. So
yeah, it was a great time. And Billy shows up after she leaves, and so I said, it was so busy we never even left the booth. We didn't even get to see any of the guests. We're hoping tomorrow we at least get a little time to do it. If we do, we want to come over and see you. She goes, that would be lovely. I would love to talk to you guys. So she leaves. Tucci comes back, and everybody's like, dude, you just missed it. He's like, what? So we tell him the story. He goes, no, you guys are crapping me. No way. Nope. You guys are pulling my leg. That didn't happen.
You wouldn't believe it.
Nope.
He had to, because there were so many people there.
Yep.
Real quick. Hey guys, I live in Hickory. Where's the con being held at? It's literally called, I believe, the Hickory Comic-Con.
It's at the convention center.
I believe, it's at the convention center right off the highway. It's
the one by isn't it Iron Thunder restaurant?
It's by a restaurant called Iron Thunder. If you're on Facebook, search Hickory Comic Con on Facebook and you'll find it. He has a flyer out. It's this weekend, April 12th. So check that out. And there was something else I was going to highlight too real quick before I lost track of it. Let's see. Oh yeah. He says, I plan on redoing it tomorrow and posting on X. Everything looks great. Then some quality looking books. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Can't wait to see the video. Make sure you post it and tag us. And
here we go.
Post it.
Hickory Metro Convention Center. There you go. 1960 13th Avenue. Well, I should write that down so I know how to get there.
Guys, for any of you that's anywhere near the area, come and join us. We always have a great time at the show.
Agent Cub will fill you in real quick. The show was so busy, I picked up 3. That's right, count them. 3 comics, and Dennis, for the first time ever, picked up nothing.
Nothing. I did 0 shopping. Part of the reason was when we did have a chance, because we met Priscilla, I told her I wanted to come by. My wife and I, we went and stood in line. And we were like, unlike for those of you that know the Lou Diamond Phillips story Andy and I had, we were hoping she would remember us the next day. So we wait in line, we get up there, and then she looks up and she goes, hello. And I'm like, do you remember us? Of course, I stopped by your booth. She grabs and she goes, she stopped by the booth and she was talking and she's grabbing my arm. And I'm like, yes, Priscilla. So we had an absolutely wonderful conversation with her. She really was amazing. So my wife and I, we got a picture and everything with her.
It was funny. Susie actually said he has a hall pass this weekend if he can seal the deal. So he couldn't, but if he could have, Elvis and Dennis could have been Eskimo brothers.
Her eyes are still amazing. I will tell you, at 80, though, she really was one of the nicest people that you'd ever talk to. I was so thrilled because how many times at any type of a convention would you expect to be able to go out there and see Priscilla Presley? So, yeah. Wow, that went weird.
Weird.
It did. The whole thing just went. Whoop. So let's remove that, and then I'll go fix it. But yeah, whole thing just crapped out. Interesting.
Do that. Is that the one?
Yep. Now it's up. So guys, we're in line talking to Priscilla, and then we knew we had to get back because the girls were heading back to home, right? And then of course, those of you that like Ted Lasso, Phil was literally in the next booth and his line had shrank. And we wound up going in to talk to her about my sister. That's one of her favorite actors. So we get to do it. So we told her about her sister getting cancer and stuff. We got him to sign something for her to cheer her up. But we talked to him and I started asking, I'm like, I know there's a season 4 I've heard. And he goes, yes. He goes, I may or may not be involved with the women's soccer team. So he was teasing it. He goes, you are going to love all the cameos and stuff. He was a great guy to talk to. His accent is just what you expected. It was
the next
great.
Season of Ted Lasso is about women's soccer with guest stars. I wonder if they'll crash the ratings with Megan Rapinoe or whatever her name is. You know who I'm talking about.
I hope not.
I know.
I hope not. And then Susie and I, as soon as we were done there, who would have thought Vicki Lawrence had a small line? We immediately hopped in and got right up to talk to Vicki. And here's the funny thing with Vicki. She was also very nice because I walked up. I'm like, Mama! She's laughing. We start talking. And she found out we were from Wisconsin. And she goes, oh, originally from Wisconsin. So was my husband. I was like, really? Did not know that. And I had to ask her. I said, where from? And she goes, he was from a small town called Fond du Lac. I'm like, get out of town. That's my hometown.
And then Dennis is like, what was his name? And she told him. He goes, oh my God, I know him.
No,
because it's a town
but
of
I
five.
felt bad. She goes, well, he passed away last year. I was like, oh, felt very sad. But she was absolutely wonderful. She was not dressed as Mama. She was just Vicki sitting there. But they were all absolutely wonderful to talk to.
Joe Bernardo says, guys, I got my book in the game module for Cordrat the Awakening is total barbarian badassery. Dennis, you should have asked her what she thought of the Elvis movie.
I thought of something after we left, and there was no way to go back and do it because, Police Squad's coming back out. She was in the Naked Guns, and I really was curious. I wonder if she's going to get a cameo in there. Totally forgot. I even said to Susie, I think we were in Vicki Lawrence's line. I'm like, oh, I wanted to actually ask that. Too late. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Not too late. You could have went back in line, lazy.
Well, then our wives wouldn't have gone home when they did, and somebody would have been in trouble.
Oh, boy. So there you go. That's the South Carolina Con catch-up. One cool thing we both picked up there, Bad Idea, that publishing company had a little booth set up, and they were giving out this cool black and white full-size ashcan preview book of Planet Death. Planet Death is written by Robert Venditti, I believe. The concept is by, here, I'll go over it. Planet Death. The writers are Derek Kolstad and Robert Venditti, and the art is Tomas Giarello, letters Dave Sharp, colors Dave Stewart. Now, this preview is only in black and white, as you can see, gray tones. But Robert told me that, and I knew who the artist was, Thomas Giarello usually just pencils his work, and they color it from pencils. This is the first time he's doing actual inks over his work with the gray tones. Guys, this book is freaking phenomenal looking. Somebody showed it to me at my table. I said, where'd you get it? He told me. I got one. then like it just started going around the con. I showed Dennis, he got one. Dan Fraggy was like, you got to see this. I saw it. I'm like, I already got it. This thing looks freaking phenomenal. There are some color pages in the back. Preview right there.
I'm going to be honest, the black and white, I almost hope they do a black and white version of this book.
Yeah.
The pencils look just, and the ink looks fantastic. Just fantastic.
I was sold. I would have bought this as a black and white, no problem. It's got some character design stuff in here because there's an interview and such. I know they're small, but it's cool. So I haven't even had a chance to dive into this. However, I did find something interesting out about it through Rob Liefeld's podcast, which this book sold. Okay, this book comes out April 30th. It comes out right before Free Comic Book Day weekend, and the sales numbers on it. Are you sitting down? Well, I don't know if you guys are, but Dennis is. He knows this already. I told him. I spoiled it. The sales numbers for this bad boy are 650,000 copies of this book sold. 650,000 copies of this bad boy, Planet Death. And the one I'm holding actually has WonderCon stamp on it. So this was the one, I guess, leftovers from WonderCon. Point of the story is, the thing that's really interesting, you go, wow, 650,000. My God, that's huge. That's record breaking in this day and age.
Before hitting store shelves, a milestone for an independent comic book and the best sales since 1992's Jim Lee's Wildcats #1.
However,
there's a caveat.
Rob Liefeld, the sleuth that he is, and I want to give him credit because he did the legwork on this. Because he was like, wow, that's a huge number for a book that's going to be $3.99 or $4.99, whatever their cover price is. Well, apparently they were selling. The only way you could order this book, from what Rob said, is in a pack of 25. Okay. So you figure off cover price is, let's just say it's $5. So the store is paying roughly what, $260, $270 for it?
Yeah, depending on your discount, which usually ranged between 40 to 50%, somewhere in there, depending on volume.
All right, so let's say it's a $5 book. You know, you get 40% off. That's $2. So the store's paying $3 a book, right? So you're going, wow, if you can buy them in 25 packs, that's 3 times. That's $75 a pack of books. Wrong. The 25 pack for the complete 0 issue, because it's starting with the 0 issue, regular size comic, they were selling the 25 pack to stores for $7.50. Oh, now that 650,000 copies makes a little more sense. Because if you're a store, now, honestly, I'm going, well, I guess I'll spend $15 and get, $50, unless there was a minimum. I don't know. There might have been a minimum the store had to order. So it wasn't just, I'll try it. Here's $7.50. Give me $25. Maybe it was like, well, you've got to order at least 100, which is still $30.
So their cost is 30 cents a book.
Right. 30 cents a book. Now, maybe Bad Idea is thinking that some stores I'm sure will sell it for cover price, so they can really make that good profit. I mean, hell, if you're paying 30 cents for a $5 book, that's a hell of a profit. But maybe to get the word out about the book, some stores will go, you know what? $2. We're going to sell it for $2 because they're still going to make a great profit. I don't know. I just thought that was rather interesting when I heard it this morning, and not everybody listens to Rob's podcast. That's why we're here. It's kind of like even the regular media and stuff like that, where they just share news. That would be 26,000 packs at $7.50 each for a total of $195,000. Yes, sirree, Bob.
Boy, Randy is fast.
That is pretty much exactly what Rob said too. And then out of that 195,000, you've got to take out the printing cost for 650,000 books.
Guys,
which,
even at that volume, and this is, I think it's newsprint, right? I think.
well, not the real book.
Yeah,
this is newsprint.
Yeah, but even I don't know what it's going to be on or how they're going to do it. But even if you went really cheap on it, I mean, you're not even in the ballpark of that, even at that volume. So, this is what I would consider a loss leader.
Well, it's gotta be.
They want to just get the book in, get you guys to like it, so you're hooked. And I think it'll work because I will always give something like that. It just looks too good. I love sci-fi stuff, so I'm in to give it a shot. I'd pick up the first few.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. The story seems cool, but man, camera shaking.
Yeah, it was you.
Oh, was it really? Well, whatever. I got excited. Woo. I mean, 650,000 copies. I just can't see it being less than 50 cents a book to print in this day and age.
Mine too.
Yeah, I just can't. So if it's let's just say it's 50 cents a book to print. Okay, that's $325,000, right?
Yeah. So
and if you're making $195, well, you're losing money. You've got to pay the creators. One of the writers of this is not Robert Venditti, but the other guy's known for like John Wick and stuff like that. I'm sure he wasn't cheap. So I don't know.
It's a different model. Like I said, it's a total loss leader. They're just trying to hook you in there and get a long-term fan and make it up on the back end.
Got your book. Cool. Let's see. 650,000 copies. It won't be collectible. Well, I mean, that's the other thing. The funny thing is you could say, wow, some of these are going to end up in dollar bins. Even if they do, if you're the store throwing them in your dollar bins, you're still making 70 cents per book. Now, the other thing that I took it out of order. Rob was first talking about Batman Hush Part 2, Batman 158. As you can see, I bought it, and I did. I actually enjoyed it, but let's take a super chat. $10. Thank you. Taking a break from work, so I won't be staying long. I think I got a message. My book is on the way. Looking forward to reading it. Cheers. Awesome. I know some books have been going up to Canada.
Yeah.
So
we had 3 packages just the other day that went to the Great White North.
That's right. So Batman Hush 158. Once again, stealing the reporting from Mr. Rob Liefeld. Apparently, they did a ton of well, not a ton, but they did the whole, every 1,000 copies, there's this exclusive cover. And I guess when the book first came out, those covers, the 1 in 1,000s were on eBay for like $1,800. And then Rob said like a week later, they were like $600 or $700. So if you paid $1,800, sorry, hate to be you. But that once again, the interesting thing Rob talked about with this, I think the sales were around 400,000. I think they were selling these as 25 packs as well. And if I remember correctly, the 25 pack was $25. So the retailer was paying $1 a piece on a book that retails for $5. So, I mean, once again, if you're that retailer, and I'm willing to bet there was a quantity you had to buy, it wasn't just give me 25. I mean, you're making $4 a book. I did ask my store today that I go to, how did Hush do? And he said, it did well, not as well as they would have liked. And they definitely did order a lot, but it did well. So, we'll just, we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Paul says the whole buy 10,000 books to get the rare variant shtick really killed the comic book stores. With the internet, I seriously doubt. Guys, that really was part of a small part, but it's still a part of what happened with Diamond. I think tomorrow, we were talking about it at the shop today, I think tomorrow is where the Image lawsuit, because they're trying to stop the purchase of Diamond right now. And I think that goes before the judge tomorrow. So I'll be curious to see if it in what gets resolved tomorrow, or if they winds up getting taken to full blown court. I'll be curious to see how this transpires. But Diamond gave Image some really good rates and privileges, let's just say. And apparently the new company's just going to treat everybody the same. Image doesn't like it. They want their preferential treatment. So they're actually suing to stop the sales. So long and short, I'll be interested to see how this whole thing shakes up, because Diamond's still not back on track. You know, everybody's suffering. Guys, I went to the shop today. 2 books, smallest book week ever. Transformers came out, and they Marvel put out a foil version of the facsimile of Star Wars #1. That's one of the few. I love that book, so I got suckered into that one. That's what I walked out of. None of the other books showed up. Everything's behind. So if you like I do, the small presses and stuff, the little publishers, it's just a joke right now trying to see what is or is not going to make it to the shops.
Yeah, I walked out with 3 books: Transformers, the facsimile edition of Superman 233, Kryptonite Nevermore, with the great Neil Adams Breaking the Chains cover, which, do a little Aaron Lopresti, I already have the original book. Not a 9.8. It's probably a 6 or a 7, but still I have it. But a nice facsimile for my spin rack. You know it. And from last week, the facsimile edition of G.I. Joe 21, the Larry Hama silent issue, which I do have at about a 9.6. So
wow, that means you bought more books this week than I did. This
has
never happened.
I did, but
before.
Can you really say that? Because one was from last week. So if you look at just this week, we're tied, which is still something.
True.
Yeah.
True, but still, that just
another facsimile of Star Wars 1. They've done a few of those a few years back. That's what I was trying to remember. Because I didn't buy it, because I'm like, I swear I already have a Star Wars 1 reprint. So I need to look, because it wasn't in my phone, in my database. Well, Chris, I mean, somebody commented earlier, the little bit that I did get to walk around the show, so many people. I mean, honestly, if you want current stuff, just give it 3, 4, 6 months, go to a convention, and you'll see dealers that have just long boxes that say current comics, $2. So basically you're buying them for half off. And more likely than not, you'll probably be able to find.
They're just recouping costs at this point.
You'll find what you're looking for, or you might find something that you were on the fence about, and now you're like, half off, not on the fence anymore.
Yep.
Since I started buying comics again, and only independent publishers, I haven't been to a comic book store, so I haven't been there since the mid-90s. You know, I've been going to a comic shop on the day that comics come out since I was about definitely since I could drive. So 16 years old. There have been a few weeks, whether I was sick or on vacation, where I missed it. But, you know, it started on a Friday, then it backed up to a Thursday, and then finally to a Wednesday. And I always go. It's a habit. Even I've gone where I've walked out without buying anything. And I don't know, something about it. I just love it. They've reprinted Star Wars 1 in recent years, but not as a facsimile with the. That's probably what I have, is that one then.
Yeah. And they had the foil one, and it was all shiny. They only had one, and it was in the back, but it was glinting off the lights. I went, oh, okay. They got me.
Amish Ninja, our good friend, says, hey guys, the kids and I love Core Draft Book 2. Both of my kids opened it to check if I was in the ending again. I was. They were happy. So there you go, guys. If you're wondering who that other guy is at the end of the book, now you know. It's Amish Ninja. Joe says they had one last year when I made it to Heroes. By the way, Ma, and my wife are looking forward to this year's Heroes. Very nice. That is what Dennis said. He said you guys are coming in, staying with him, and you're going to draw straws and have a little swap out. So, hey, whatever you guys want to do, I support it fully. Just please wash your hands before I shake your hand. Okay.
Of course, he didn't say that to Priscilla.
Well, no, of course not. I was kind of hoping she never washed her hand after she cupped the jewels, just so I could be like, I've got Elvis DNA on my hand.
Same here. I only pick up 1 or 2 new books a week. Yeah, guys, I'm all small. The only time I grab a Marvel book usually is if it's a facsimile. Same thing with DC, and it's something that I really enjoy. Rom, when they did the foil Rom variant, the Micronauts, those are books I love, especially Rom type. Star Wars #1, it's a classic. They'll get me on those, but man, there's stuff I've just had to walk away. It's just most of the projects have not been good, and it's just not worth spending my money on. I would rather do the crowdfunding stuff. Like I said, Perfect 10 came in the mail. I am way more looking forward to reading that than anything I picked up. I'll still do my quick flips. I'll probably do a quick flip for Perfect 10 for those of you who don't know and hadn't backed it yet.
Oh, I'm really excited to read Battle Brick Road this weekend. It was funny. Somebody posted something that I was going to talk about. I mean, I do a lot of back issues now. There's not a lot of new stuff. Somebody even asked me at the con where I was talking, and they're like, what new stuff do you get? And take it easy, Paul. What new stuff do you get? And I'm like, let's see. Transformers, both G.I. Joe books. And other than that, it's kind of hit or miss. It's like there's generally a facsimile edition I'll get. Look, I'll be honest. I'm going to get Hush for the next, I guess it's 12 issues. And I got the black and white little ashcan preview of #2. And I like it.
I'm not going to. I picked up the first one. I own the original series. So, I mean, I picked up the first one because it's cool. And that's it. I'm done. I'll be done after this. I'm not spending my money on. I did the Marvel Secret War.
What if you read it and you like it?
Then I have my original set. I would rather have that anyway.
No, maybe if you read this new storyline and you like it, what's that have to do with your original set?
Oh yeah, I see. I was talking about the facsimile, but
no, I didn't get the facsimile. No, yeah, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I did because it had a foil cover.
I know. I know. I was going to say. So Rom, you brought up Rom. Love Rom. I only have a smattering of the issues, and yes, I know they put out the big fat omnibus. I think it's going to be 2 volumes, or it is. I can't remember. Well, I don't know if you knew this. I think it's this week or next. They're releasing an epic collection of like the first 18 issues of Rom. So now it looks like they're going to do the regular trade paperback size epic collections, volume, however many it takes to get the 75. Ooh. So I might actually pick those up.
Because then if it's 18, if it's 1 through 18, you get the X-Men in it because that's right through 18.
That's right. So I might actually pick that up. I love that stuff. I just sold both my Hush RRP books. What's RRP stand for?
RRP.
Run really, really pretty. I don't know. Is the new Hush story good? I like it, to be honest with you. I thought it was pretty cool. So as of now, because I wouldn't keep buying it. So I read it and I was like, I like it. Is Jim's art great or like the last issues of his Superman? Now, see, I liked his Superman run. So I liked the Superman. I liked his Justice League stuff. Is it the same as Hush from 23 years ago? No. I mean, Jim is, I think he's 61 now. So, he's older and stuff. So I look at it from the standpoint of a 60-year-old drew it. I don't know when his birthday is. He might have been 59, whatever. What's it say? The Diamond Conference limited cover book. Oh, got it.
He got super rare ones.
I like it because I was talking to somebody else about this. It's like John Byrne. I'm a huge John Byrne fan. I was able to download, or I was actually able to get the 5 trade paperbacks of X-Men Elsewhere, printed from John Byrne's pencils. Is that stuff as good as what he did 20 years ago? No. Is it as good as his first X-Men stuff? In my opinion, no. But I love John Byrne's work. Same thing with Jim. Love his X-Men stuff. Loved his Image stuff, Wildcats, his first Batman Hush, the Superman stuff, the Justice League stuff. Is it different? Yes. His proportions, honestly, there's a shot in here where Batman's standing and it takes up like the side of a page. And they're not even really heroic proportions. They look like typical, just standard, like 6-head high proportions compared to the Batman, superhero type proportions Jim did on that first Hush, But I don't know. I dig it. I like it. I'm going to get it. So that's my 2 cents on it, if you will. Vatican City. That comes out. Did that come out this week? Or is that next week? You know what? I think it is this week.
I didn't see it on the wall.
I'll have to look because I do want to get that. You know what that is, right? Vatican City is Mark Millar's new book done by Narwhal. Or Per Berg.
No, that definitely wasn't on the wall. So it was not at the shop because I only had one book in my pull list, which was Transformers. I went through, found Star Wars, but I went through everything, and that was not in the shop today.
Well, and Joe, I hear you. Every artist is different. The thing I'll say about Jim, too, is, who knows what other responsibilities he has as a figurehead at DC. I don't know what his title is, but he does have an executive title, and he probably has stuff he has to do. So just the fact he's doing that stuff, and even if it takes him 2 months to draw one of these, I know he started working on it last fall, that's still, if he's doing just 3 pages a week of pencils plus his other stuff, that's a lot of work. And Jim's also an artist that, it's one of those things when you get to a level of, I guess, notoriety or popularity and stuff, I'm sure when you're drawing, you're not really thinking about, I got to keep improving. I'm sure, I think as an artist, you always are, but depending on, I guess your status in the industry depends on how much you really try and really push, your work to another level. And Jim just might be like, I can do a drawing of Superman or Batman on 11x17 paper with no background, throw it on eBay and make probably 5 figures or close to it. So, it is what it is. So publication April 9th.
Yeah, it should have been today.
Yeah.
My shop didn't have any, and I was there before the owner was. He was just a couple minutes late today. So I know nobody walked in because I was literally the first person to get my books.
Because when the owner showed up, he was like, seriously, you threw a brick and broke the glass and are now standing inside. You couldn't wait for me to show up. And Des is like, no, it's New Comic Day. You weren't here.
It's Wednesday.
So I shattered it. And that ain't no brick. You see a brick? It was my fist of fury.
No, really. It was not there. So it did not show up. So a couple of things, there were some other books, I guess. And he goes, I don't even know if I've got a book for you. If I do, it's just one. I was like, what? He goes, yep, there's so many problems with the independent stuff. Even those that are going through the other distributors now, they have to do the handoff. There's so many things missing. So yeah, that one was not at the shop because he on anything like that, he orders extra. And I'm usually not there till the afternoon. So sometimes I would miss it. Not this time. Very first one, it was not on the wall.
That's right. He came over here crying, tears in his eyes.
I did.
And he wanted a hug. And I had to tell him, no, not until you put sleeves on. Because your big bare arms will wrap around me and your pits will get my shirt wet. And I can't have your bare pits getting my shirt wet.
Don't worry. The neighbor came over and said, I'll hug you.
I know. That's because Justin's a really nice guy.
He is.
Yeah. All right, guys. It is 49 minutes. We need to get to the post office because we've got 10 boxes down there to mail out. And who knows, maybe you're one of them. So back to fulfilling, getting those boxes out. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for backing in the book. It's got to suck to be a retailer right now. Oh, I'm sure.
Talking to them, I talked to a bunch of them at the at SC Comic Con, and they're all suffering through it right now. So this is bad for the industry in general.
That's right. And like Randy just posted, go sign up for Lilith Infernal Conflict, coming to you next from the world of Kordrath. we guys are bringing you a standalone tale featuring Lilith, the sexy succubus. Oh, yeah. And there's some new characters coming your way. Oh, look at that big bad guy, Demon Lord Vixarion. Oh, yeah. Couple new succubi. There's more than just two, but these are featured ones. And I hope he's still in the chat watching. Here is the main cover that I did in Tartan Ninja colored. So there you go, guys. Check that out. That is the main cover. Don't fear, there is another cover by a guest artist coming down the pike. And when it's done and colored and all that, we'll show it off. But this is Lilith fighting that evil bad guy, Demon Lord Vixarion. So go back it or sign up for it, I mean, so you'll know when it launches. Nice logo. Thank you. Thanks, Steve Dutro, my letterer and logo guy.
Yeah, did another great one.
He sure did. So until next time, guys, what are we seeing tomorrow night at the movies, Dennis? We're seeing The Amateur. This is who I'm working with as well. The Amateur. I always throw it to him at the end of the show. You guys know it. You guys know at the end of the show, I go, what are we seeing? Was he prepared? We're seeing The Amateur. I work with an amateur. I am going to now have to beat him when the show's over.
It's a good thing I don't bruise easy.
You don't. And I use a phone book. I learned that.
In a 1988 phone book from New York City.
Right. I learned that in cop school. They don't leave bruises as much, apparently. So there you go. Plus, I do it. You know, he never takes his shirt off, so you wouldn't see the bruising. So anyhow, we're seeing The Amateur tomorrow night, which means the review drops tomorrow night as well. No Friday morning. We're dropping it Thursday night.
You get our thoughts literally as soon as we walk out of the theater.
That's a good one. Get a pillowcase, put a bar of soap in it, and swing.
Ah, Full Metal Jacket.
That's right. Pillow sack full of oranges, too.
Speaking of which, Full Metal Jacket, Vincent D'Onofrio was there. And I know a lot of you guys were saying this weekend he looks so different on the show. Well, now that we saw him in person, he's buffed out and thinned right down. So he looks a lot more like he did in Thor in Adventures in Babysitting. He's bulk up, so good on him, but that's why he looks different in Daredevil.
I am all caught up on Daredevil. Dennis is now 2 episodes behind.
I am.
By next week at this time, he will be caught up. So there you go. Guys, thank you for joining us. As always, like, subscribe, and share to both the channels because we multi-stream across both.
Andy Smith Art, and of course, at Dennis Turner.
That's right. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you later. Sign up for Lilith Infernal Conflict. Until then,